Hi, I'm Jeanette Calli. I serve as the NRMP Chief of Match Operations. The 2025 main residency match was once again the largest on record, both in the number of positions and in the number of active applicants participating in the match. Now that the excitement of Match Week is over and the dust is settled, let's review the results of the main residency match and the Supplemental Offer and Acceptance Program, or SOAP. This year, there were a total of 43,237 positions offered by 6,626 programs. The number of positions was up this year by 1,734, which is an increase of 4.2% over 2024. This is higher than the growth we saw last year, which was 2.8%. So we're seeing continuing growth in the number of positions in the match each year. When the match was run, 40,764 positions filled, leaving 2,473 positions unfilled. For comparison, in 2024, there were 2,562 unfilled positions, a decline of 3.5% in positions left unfilled compared to 2024, with an increase of over 1,700 positions. So there were significantly more positions in the match and fewer unfilled after the match was run. There are two ways we look at the applicants participating in the match: registered and active. Registered applicants are the entire population of applicants who registered to participate, and this year we saw about a 4.1% increase over 2024, with 52,498 registered applicants in the match. The second way we consider applicants is by looking at the active applicants in the match. Active applicants are applicants who certified a rank order list of programs, and so were included in the running of the algorithm. This can be loosely correlated with the applicants who interviewed with residency programs during the season. In 2025, there were 47,208 active applicants, and that's an increase of 2,355 applicants from 2024. The number of applicants matching to postgraduate year 1, or PGY1 positions, increased this year. We matched 37,667 applicants to PGY1 positions, 1,683 more PGY1 matched applicants than in 2024, an increase of 4.7%. The percent of all active applicants matched to PGY1 positions was 79.8%, a very slight decrease from 2024, when 80.2% of active applicants matched to PGY1 positions. Looking closer at the applicants and some trend data, here are the number of active applicants in the match over the last 10 years, categorized by applicant type. There are over 11,700 more active applicants in the match since 2016. U.S. MD seniors are consistently the largest applicant group. In 2025, there were 20,368 U.S. MD seniors. The next largest group of active applicants are non-U.S. international medical graduates, or IMGs. A non-U.S. IMG is a non-U.S. citizen who attended an international medical school. There were 11,465 non-U.S. IMGs in the match this year. DO seniors are fourth-year students in U.S. osteopathic medical schools, and they are the next largest applicant type, with 8,392 active applicants. U.S. IMGs are U.S. citizens who attended an international medical school, and there were 4,587 active U.S. citizen IMGs. Last, there were 2,381 prior MD and DO grads combined. The prior MD and DO grads are applicants who have completed medical school training in their respective school types before entering the match. The largest gains in active applicants this year was in non-U.S. citizen IMGs, with an increase of 1,444 active applicants. U.S. MD seniors grew by 613, and DO seniors by 359. The number of active U.S. citizen IMGs actually declined by 164, continuing the decline we've seen in recent years. The number of active U.S. citizen IMGs has decreased by more than 13% over the past 5 years. The top line is the number of PGY1 positions over time. You can see how this number of positions compares to the number of active applicants in the match. In looking at the growth of PGY1 positions over the last 5 years, in 2021, there were 35,194 PGY1 positions. compared to 40,041 in 2025, an increase of 4,847 positions, or a 13.8% increase over the last 5 years. On the applicant side, applicants have seen an increase of 11% over the same period. So growth in PGY1 positions is more than keeping pace with the growth in the number of active applicants. Despite position numbers increasing at a higher rate than applicants, there were still 7,167 more active applicants than there were PGY1 positions available in the match this year. This chart shows the number of matches to PGY1 positions by applicant type, again since 2016. You can see that in the 2025 match, 19,044 of the 20,368 active MD seniors matched to PGY1 positions, which is consistent with prior years. Over time, we see that it's the PGY1 matches for DO seniors that have seen the most growth, which is to be expected with the implementation of the single accreditation system and match in 2020. In 2025, 7,773 of the 8,392 DO seniors matched, and that's a record high number of matches for DO seniors. 3,108 of the 4,587 U.S. citizen IMGs and 6,653 of the 11,465 non-U.S. citizen IMGs matched to PGY1 positions, and 1,079 of the 2,381 prior MD and DO grads matched. There were 8,875 unmatched active applicants overall. You can see the PGY1 match rates graphed here by applicant type since 2016. As always, USMD seniors did extremely well in the match. 93.5% of USMD seniors matched to PGY1 positions. That's the same as last year, and within the historical 92 to 95% rate, which has been consistent for almost 40 years. DO senior match rates continue to rise, this year to 92.6%, a slight increase to a new all-time high and almost on par with that of MD seniors. 67.8% of U.S. IMGs matched, an increase of 0.8 percentage points over last year, and 58% of non-U.S. citizen IMGs matched, a 0.5 percentage point decrease from 2024. Prior MD grads have a slight increase in their match rates with 45.9%, an increase of 0.2 percentage points. DO grads saw a downturn in their match rate with 43.8% in 2025, a decrease of 3.8 percentage points from the year prior. The overall PGY1 match rate was 79.8% in 2025. Let's look closer at just the USMD and DO seniors. It can be helpful to compare the number of active and matched MD and DO seniors to the number of PGY1 positions, which is the top line. In 2025, there were a total of 28,760 active U.S. seniors when you combine both MDs and DOs. Those seniors were competing for the 40,041 PGY1 positions in the match. It is a common misconception in the match that there are not enough positions for all the U.S. medical students. When you compare the number of PGY1 positions to the number of U.S. MD and DO seniors, there were 11,281 more PGY1 positions than U.S. seniors combined. In looking at the positions in the match this year, 40,764 matches were made to PGY1 and PGY2 positions, which was also an all-time high and an increase of 1,823, or 4.7% over 2024. Here are the number of positions offered and filled for specialties with more than 500 positions in the match, and the numbers of MD and DO seniors who filled those positions. Primary care specialties offered record high numbers of positions. Of the 20,300 primary care positions offered overall, that's in internal medicine, family medicine, pediatrics, and internal medicine pediatrics combined categorical positions, 18,974, or 93.5%, were filled. However, only 7,328, or 38.6% of those positions, were filled by USMD seniors, but that is up from 36.9% in 2024. Breaking it down further, internal medicine categorical numbers have increased to 11,352 positions in 2025, and that's the highest number on record. There were 679 more internal medicine positions in the match than in 2024, a 6.1% increase over last year. The fill rate for the specialty was 96.8%, up slightly from last year, and MD seniors filled 38.1%, up by 2.2%, while DO seniors filled 17.3%, slightly up by 0.2%. All IMGs combined filled 4,852 of the categorical internal medicine positions in the match, or 42.6%. Family medicine has experienced position increases every year since 2009. In 2025, family medicine offered 5,357 positions and filled 4,552, or 85%, down from 2024 by 2.8%. MD seniors filled 33% of positions, which is an increase over last year, and 1,482 DO seniors matched, accounting for 32.6% of applicants who matched in family medicine. IMGs filled 1,427 family medicine positions, or 31.3%. The number of family medicine positions has increased by 534 in the last 5 years, but the number of applicants preferring the specialty is not keeping pace and has decreased in that period. The pediatric fill rate dropped last year from 97.1% to 91.8%, but in the 2025 match, pediatrics offered 3,193 categorical and primary positions, an increase of 54 over 2024, and filled 3,043, resulting in a fill rate of 95.3%. So not completely back to previous levels, but a modest rebound. After the algorithm was processed, 150 pediatrics positions were unfilled, a decrease of 102 from last year. 49.1% of these positions are being filled by MD seniors, 21.2% by DO seniors, and 28.7% by IMGs. A couple of other specialties that have been in the spotlight the past few matches. Emergency medicine offered 3,068 positions in 2025, an increase of 42 positions from 2024, and achieved a 97.9% fill rate, an increase of 2.4 percentage points. The specialty had experienced a decline, with an 81.8% fill rate in 2023 before climbing back up to a 95.5% fill rate in 2024. This year's performance edges emergency medicine even closer to its pre-COVID fill rate of 98 to 99%. There were 3,003 applicants who matched to the specialty, a significant rebound from 2023, which saw 2,456 applicants obtaining PGY1 positions. The increase in matched applicants to emergency medicine is due primarily to increases in DO seniors and IMGs matching to the specialty. Obstetrics and gynecology continues to be a specialty of interest as national conversations about reproductive health care persist, in light of the Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization Supreme Court decision in 2023. Interest in this specialty remains strong despite the changing policy landscape. In this year's match, only one categorical position and 9 preliminary PGY1 positions remained unfilled out of 1,604 obstetrics and gynecology residency positions offered. MD seniors accounted for 69.4% of those who matched, while DO seniors accounted for 19.6%, up from 18.9% in 2024. International medical graduates accounted for 6% of matched applicants in obstetrics and gynecology. The results of the match can indicate the competitiveness of specialties, as measured by the percentage of positions filled by the different applicant types. The specialties with 30 positions or more that filled with the highest percentage of USMD and DO seniors were thoracic surgery, 96.3%, otolaryngology, 95.4%, orthopedic surgery, 92%, internal medicine pediatrics, 91.4%, plastic surgery, 90%, obstetrics and gynecology, 89.6%, and neurological surgery, 87.9%. The specialties with 30 positions or more that filled with the highest percentage of IMGs were internal medicine, 40.3%, pathology, 36.3%, family medicine, 31.3%, and neurology, 28.9%. The match rates broken down by specialty can help us see how successful each applicant type is in matching to their preferred specialty. Preferred specialty is the specialty of the first-ranked program on an applicant's rank order list, excluding preliminary programs. Here's the match rate for USMD seniors by their preferred specialty in 2025 compared to 2024 for the 15 most preferred specialties. As you can see, most MD seniors do match to their first-choice specialty, with match rates above 90% for MD seniors in pediatrics, family medicine, internal medicine, emergency medicine, radiology, neurology, and IMPs. Of note this year are the 7% increase in radiology, 6% increase in IMPs, and modest decreases in orthopedic surgery and dermatology. Here's that same data for USDO seniors in 2025 compared to 2024. Specialties with match rates above 90% for DO seniors were family medicine, pediatrics, internal medicine, and emergency medicine, the same as last year. Of note this year are the increases in diagnostic radiology, IMPs, and anesthesiology. The number of DO seniors who preferred anesthesiology did actually drop by 13.3% in 2025 compared to 2024, although match rates have increased for those who preferred the specialty. There was also a modest decrease in DO senior match rates by preferred specialty for dermatology. Match rates for U.S. citizen IMGs are highest in pediatrics, emergency medicine, internal medicine, and family medicine. Of note are the increase in radiology and the decrease in dermatology since 2024. And here's the data for non-U.S. IMGs. Match rates for non-U.S. IMGs are highest in pediatrics, child neurology, radiation oncology, and family medicine. And they saw increases in child neurology and diagnostic radiology, and the slight decrease in pediatrics. Participating in the match as a couple allows two applicants to link their rank order lists, usually for the purposes of obtaining positions in the same geographic location. When applicants participate in the match as a couple, their rank order lists form pairs of program choices that are considered by the matching algorithm. A couple will match to the most preferred pair of programs on their rank order lists where each partner has been offered a position. This year, there were 1,259 couples, of which 89%, or 1,122, both matched. There were 102 couples where only one individual matched, bringing the total couples match rate to 93.2%. The couples match rate has been consistent for almost 40 years. This year, there were 35 couples where neither individual matched. So that covers the filled positions and the applicants who filled them. Let's review the unfilled positions and the unmatched applicants. Here are the numbers and types of unfilled positions for the past 10 years. After the algorithm was processed, 2,473 of the 43,237 positions were unfilled. That's 89 fewer positions unfilled than in 2024. But remember, there were 1,734 more positions overall in the match, with 2,355 more active applicants this year. In looking at the types of positions that remained unfilled, 920, or 37%, were preliminary PGY1 positions. Those are positions usually in internal medicine, surgery, or transitional year programs that only provide 1 year preliminary training. This is a slight increase since 2024, when 36% of the unfilled positions were preliminary positions. Much of the increase in unfilled categorical positions was due to unfilled positions in family medicine and internal medicine. As shown previously, there were 2,473 positions unfilled after the match was run. The Supplemental Offer and Acceptance Program, or SOAP, provides a uniform system after the match to fill remaining unfilled positions during match week. Programs offer unfilled positions to eligible unmatched or partially matched applicants through a series of offer rounds. However, the universe of SOAP positions is a little different than in the match. Programs have the option of whether to participate in SOAP if they go unfilled, and some choose not to. In addition, there are positions in programs that did not submit a rank order list that request to be included in SOAP, leaving a total of 2,521 PGY1 and PGY2 positions included in the SOAP process. Of those, 2,421 were PGY1 positions. This is a comparison of the numbers of unmatched active seniors to the PGY1 positions in SOAP for the past 10 years. There were 1,324 USMD seniors and 619 DO seniors who submitted rank order lists who were unmatched to PGY1 positions. The universe of SOAP-eligible applicants is also slightly different from that of unmatched active applicants. An applicant is eligible for SOAP if the applicant is registered for the match, verified as eligible to participate, and unmatched or partially matched when the algorithm is processed. A partially matched applicant is one who matched to only a PGY1 preliminary program or to only an advanced PGY2 program. Applicants who do not submit a rank order list are eligible to participate in SOAP if they are registered and verified as eligible. So vying for those 2,521 total SOAP positions were 13,670 eligible applicants. That's 502 more than in 2024, and with 89 fewer positions. There were 10,560 SOAP-eligible applicants who were active in the match, meaning they certified a rank order list of programs and were included in the algorithm. This is a breakdown of the SOAP-eligible applicants by type. The largest group of SOAP-eligible applicants was non-US IMGs, with 6,956, followed by 2,366 US IMGs, 2,074 US MD seniors, 997 prior MD grads, 892 DO seniors, 374 prior DO grads, and 11 others who are Canadian and Fifth Pathway applicants. The preferences of the unmatched MD seniors, where there was at least one MD senior who preferred a specialty, are seen here. Unmatched MD seniors were looking for competitive specialties, including orthopedic surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, general surgery, and neurological surgery, as well as some moderately competitive specialties like psychiatry and anesthesiology. Now we'll compare these preferences to the number of available positions in SOAP. The preferences of unmatched US seniors was strongest for orthopedic surgery, 251 preferring it for 0 positions in SOAP. General surgery categorical, 107 preferring for 4 positions. Obstetrics and gynecology, 119 preferred for 1 position. Psychiatry, 138 preferred for 12 positions. And anesthesiology, 90 preferring for 7 positions. Family medicine, pediatrics, emergency medicine, and internal medicine are among the specialties where there were more unfilled positions than USMD seniors who preferred the specialty. Here are the preferences of unmatched DO seniors for specialties where there was at least one DO senior who preferred the specialty. DO seniors also had strong preferences for orthopedic surgery, psychiatry, obstetrics and gynecology, and surgery. And again, we'll put up the number of available positions in SOAP. And here are the specialty preferences of the unmatched applicants, adding in the IMG and prior graduate groups to give you all applicant types combined. Most unmatched applicants preferred internal medicine, family medicine, psychiatry, and general surgery when you include the preferences of IMGs and prior grads. The added bars again show the number of available positions in SOAP by specialty. Other specialties with large numbers of positions in SOAP were family medicine with 805, surgery preliminary positions with 549, and internal medicine with 370. There were 4 SOAP offer rounds during Match Week this year. Here are the number of positions offered and accepted by round. As you can see, 1,413 of the 2,521 SOAP positions, or 56% of positions, were accepted in the first offer round of SOAP. You can also see the number of positions that were rejected in each round. Keep in mind that applicants can receive more than one offer in a round, and once they accept a position, all offers of the same type are automatically rejected. There were 599 offers accepted in the second round, so 79.8% of positions were filled by the second round. 247 offers were accepted in the third and 59 in the fourth, leaving only 203 SOAP positions remaining unfilled at the conclusion of the final round. By the end of SOAP, 92% of the available SOAP positions had been filled. The Match and SOAP processes combined give us an overall position fill rate for 2025 of 99.4%. Here is the breakdown of the positions accepted by applicant and position type during SOAP. The numbers above indicate the number of SOAP-eligible applicants for each applicant type. As you can see, the bulk of the positions were accepted by MD seniors. MD seniors accepted 39.6%, or 918, of the 2,318 positions filled during SOAP. USDO seniors accepted 22%, or 511 positions. IMGs as a group accepted 27%, or 628, of the 2,318 positions filled, down from 30% in 2024. This chart shows the number of SOAP-eligible USMD seniors, how many unique MD senior applicants received SOAP offers, and how many offers were accepted for the past 5 years. In 2025, there were 2,074 SOAP-eligible MD seniors. This SOAP-eligible category includes MD seniors who were partially matched to either a PGY-1 preliminary position or an advanced position. 955 unique MD seniors received offers during SOAP, and 918 of them accepted those SOAP offers. The last set of bars on the right show the number of SOAP-eligible MD seniors who did not have any position at the conclusion of Match Week for the past 5 years. This year, there were 535 SOAP-eligible MD seniors left without a position in either the match or SOAP at the end of Match Week. That's an increase of 35 since 2024. Here's the same data, but for SOAP-eligible DO seniors. In 2025, there were 892 SOAP-eligible DO seniors, 515 unique DO seniors received offers during SOAP, and 511 offers were accepted. There were 219 SOAP-eligible DO seniors who did not obtain a position in either the match or SOAP at the conclusion of Match Week, an increase of 34 since 2024. And what's left at the conclusion of SOAP? There were 203 positions unfilled at the conclusion of SOAP. This shows the number of positions in SOAP by specialty, and this is the number of positions remaining in those specialties after SOAP concluded. As you can see, the bulk of positions remaining after SOAP concludes are in surgery programs, primarily PGY-1 surgery positions, family medicine, internal medicine, transitional year, pediatrics, and emergency medicine. The applicant match rate is the primary outcome measure we have traditionally published. It's the percentage of active applicants who matched to PGY-1 positions when the match was run. And as mentioned previously, the match rate for all applicants this year was 79.8%. But the match rate doesn't tell the whole story. It does not capture the applicants who were placed through the SOAP process or the applicants who didn't certify a rank order list. Starting with the 2023 match, NRMP began publishing 2 additional placement rate metrics: the placement rate for all applicants, which is the proportion of active and SOAP-eligible applicants who were successfully placed into a PGY-1 position through either the matching algorithm or SOAP, and the placement rate for active applicants, which is the proportion of applicants who certified a rank order list who were successfully placed into a PGY-1 position through either the matching algorithm or SOAP. The match rate and placement rate metrics for 2025, with 2024 below in parentheses, are presented for comparison. The match rate for all MD and DO seniors combined was 93.2%. The placement rate for all MD DO seniors combined was 97.3%, a slight decrease from 2024, and the placement rate for MD DO seniors who certified a rank order list was 98%, also a slight decrease from 2024. The match rate for all IMGs was 60.8%. The placement rate for all IMGs was 55.7%, the same as 2024. And the placement rate for IMGs who certified a rank order list was 64.1%, also a slight decrease from 2024. And here are the match and placement rates for 2025, broken out further by individual applicant type. The placement rate for all MD senior applicants this year was 97.3%, which includes all registered, eligible USMD seniors in the match, compared to the placement rate for active USMD seniors, which is their highest metric, at 97.8%. The placement rate for all DO seniors this year was 97.4%, and the placement rate for active DO seniors was 98.4%. Like last year, DO seniors had the highest placement rate for any applicant type. The highest placement for U.S. IMG applicants is the active placement rate, which was 73.5%, and the lowest was the placement rate for all U.S. IMGs in the match, which was 64.3%. Likewise, the highest rate for non-U.S. citizen IMGs is the active placement rate of 60.3%, with the placement rate for all applicants the lowest at 52.3%. The all-applicant placement rate being the lowest outcome metric for IMGs is not surprising given the large number of IMG applicants who register for the match, but don't certify rank order listed programs, and so aren't considered in the active applicant pool or the match rate. That ends our recap of the 2025 Maine Residency Match. The NRMP is honored to facilitate the efficient, fair, and transparent placement of thousands of physician learners into residency programs each year. And we will continue to provide additional data analyses given the medical education community insights into the transition to residency and the future physician workforce. There will be even more detailed data available with the release of the 2025 Maine Residency Match Results and Data Report at the end of May. So look for that on our website at www.nrmp.org. Thanks for watching.